We find plastics everywhere we look, from the deepest ocean trenches up to the Himalaya mountain. So this just highlights that we really need to get a grip on plastic pollution.
The impacts are here and now, and we have to stop this from spiraling out of control.
These are the concerns many experts around the world share. And it's why they, along with diplomats from 184 countries, have met at the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland, in the hope they can negotiate and agree on a treaty to end plastic pollution once and for all.
This is a challenging task, but a deeply necessary one.
It's hard to imagine a world without plastic in it, especially when so many everyday items contain some kind of plastic, like containers, bags, cutlery, toys, electronics, clothes, building materials, sports equipment, and whatever this thing is.
Plastic has been with us for a really long time. But it wasn't until the 1950s and 60s that plastic really started to take off. It was long-lasting, easy to clean, and cheap to make. So cheap that eventually people didn't bother to clean and reuse it. And the era of throwaway living or single-use plastics was born. But by the 1970s, it started to become clear that all this plastic waste was a problem, and lots of people were concerned about its impacts on the environment.
They can cause this traumatic time for such a beautiful little animal.
See, plastic takes a really long time to decompose. In fact, nearly all plastic ever created still exists in some form today. A lot of it ends up in landfill, but it also makes its way into our waterways and oceans. And as it slowly breaks down, it turns into microplastics.
Microplastics have actually been found in all organ systems. So a recent study that came out showed that these microplastics were actually present in brains on autopsy. They've also been found in the first poop from a baby. They've been found. So obviously that means that these microplastics have been circulating within the mother's circulation and exposed to the baby in the womb.
People have been taking action to stop plastic waste for a long time now. Bangladesh was the first country in the world to implement a ban on thin plastic bags back in 2002. And here in Australia, plastic bags were first banned in South Australia back in 2009, followed by straws and cutlery in 2021, and containers, cups, bowls and plates in 2022 and 2023.
There have also been lots of improvements in the way we recycle and reuse plastics, but there's still a lot of plastic floating around out there. In fact, it's estimated that more than 7.2 billion tonnes of plastic waste is currently contaminating our environment. And that number is growing by about 417 million tonnes every year. But the UN Intergovernmental Negotiation Committee on Plastic Pollution is hoping to change that for good. They spoke about ways to cut plastic pollution, limit plastic production, and manage harmful chemicals in plastics.
It begins with having global rules. That's really it, and that's what this treaty will enable.
While many support the treaty, not all countries have been able to agree on how far the rules should go. And with the conference wrapping up later this week, we'll have to wait and see what happens next.